Stupid, I hate OBS, get rid of OBS. Stupid platform, rubbish. Anyways, I'm now going to have to completely say everything I've just said again. I was speaking the whole time on the starting soon screen and I can't be bothered. This is actually the most stupid thing I've ever used. We'll pick someone else to go on board with. We'll go on board with last season's F2 champion Paul Natler. But yeah, welcome to F2. I'm now annoyed because I've done some beautiful introduction and talked loads about the track. But yeah, stupid stream anyways. I'm board with Paul Natler. Let's actually just get straight into this with a lap then. So, putting the battery on well before the line and now heading into turn 1. Braking at 100 metres and just misses the apex, but not really necessary. It's just about keeping the minimum speed up, especially in this corner. It's very important. And now onto the first DRS zone of the track and into turn 4, I believe this is, as Gironda sets a 31.7 for the first lap of the session. I was on board with him and talking about his lap, but we digress, we move into the most awkward corner of the track. Just, it's a bit of a strange one, really. Both the Haas drivers of Ennis and Linus have set laps at a 31.9 and a 32.6, as that's a 44.1 first sector for Paul Nadler here, and now heading onto the strip, slides through the corner. That's going to cost him absolutely buckets of time, and yeah, that's not ideally what you want to do, but it's only a banker, so he's got multiple runs to rectify that, and I'm sure he's going to be focused on doing so, as on 10.3 middle sector, went purple in the first, doesn't get a purple middle, presumably from the mistake. Now into the final sector, keeps it in 4th, and he is almost reigned. And yeah, not ideal there for Paul, unfortunately, at the end of that lap. As, who else have we got? Theo Swift did 33.2 for his first lap. As we also have Apo on a lap here on a 44.3 first sector, so close to what Paul Nadler did, which was displayed as purple. Not sure if it actually was purple. I guess we will find out shortly. As middle sector split about the same as Paul, 10.3, and now hard braking into this final complex of corners and keeps it well under control there. Very nice from Apo. And he'll now bring it up to the line for his first lap of the session, which looks to be a 132.2. So again, nice lap from Apo. As we also have Caleb here on the lap in the Alfa Romeo. There's a few more coming to the line. That is Harry Swanwick Moore here, just a 33.2, goes P7. Then there's an Alpha Tauri. That will be Blake. As I click on lane pitch going up this red, that won't be Blake. As we've got Rick here, 10.7 middle, hits the wall. Lucky to not be out the session, but that is his front wing entirely gone. Let's have a look. How is Bayard getting on? Bayard obviously finished 7th in F1 last season, so we'll have to see how he can perform on this game, as George Carl has disconnected from the session, presumably had a connection problem. Should be able to get back in though without any worries. 44.4 from Bayard as Quill goes up to P3 in the Williams. And Caleb White then displaces him in P3 as Bayard, having to fight the car there, keeps it in a straight line though, so that is good. Stay in the strip through the purple lighting and past the BTEC Eiffel Tower, which has sort of just been stuck there because why not? I don't know the history behind it, I'm not really a historian, so that's not really up my street, but something I'd know. It's now up to the line for Bayard. What is the lap time going to be? Looks to be a 32.6 P8 for Bayode. Rochewell then got P4. So, speaking of someone going fast, that's Twan. I completely forgot that time was on the lap, and that's a very nice time. Just about beating Shawanda by 1 thousandth. Was set later in the session though, so had a bit more track evolution on the lap. However, track evolution is pretty minor on this game, I'd say. So yeah, has Rochewell backed off, or do you just no? Rochewell hasn't backed off. You just don't use much battery in the first sector. Similar first sector time to Bayode. As this Mercedes on board's really annoying me. If you look at the tyres, you can sort of just see it poking through a little gap in the car, which, yeah, not fun. I don't know why I've just noticed that, but yeah. What is the middle sector split looking like for Rochewell? 1 on 10.2, so a bit faster than the last few laps we've seen. So I'm guessing it's going to be a 32.3, about where Sam and Apple are, I'd have to guess, as P4 for Rochewell. I think I said that already, last season in F2, and P2 the season before in F2 was involved in the title fight. And it's going to be P7 here for Rochewell's first qualifying lap, which is very respectable. As Quill is going again. Got the P5. Seemed very uncomfortable in the braking there, however, has managed to recover it fairly well. Let's see what the middle sector split is. Very nice exit out of that corner, and it's a 10.5 up for Quill. And that is interesting. Their first sector's been slower, so that means they must have got the final 2 sectors very good on their best lap so far. Oh, that's into the wall, and that is easy to do. Not ideal. But yeah, Blake is starting a lap. Lapage only just on a lap, so all I have to say, oh, that was a massive snap. He's not going to be looking to want to do that. Theo Smith over. Not sure if Theo's had a snap. Not been on board, but runs very wide into the chicane there. And yeah, that's not ideal. Is it an improvement though? It is a 3/10 improvement, to be fair. So solid. As his yellow flags up ahead. That's from a Haas driver. Cuts the inside there beautifully, so that's got to be, I don't know, a couple tenths, you'd think, on top of the 33.2 so far. And well, let's have a look. It's going to be half a second up nearly, so pushing towards the top 10 with this time. Just needs to hook up the end of the lap, and looks to have done that very nicely. No sort of moments of oversteer or anything like that, as Ennis goes fastest on 31.7. Very nice lap time from Ennis. Theo Smith to the line, P10, 32.6, just behind Linus there, who is now on a lap himself. I think the Haas drivers have orchestrated a bit of a slipstream here. I don't think it's on this straight though. Actually, it definitely is on this straight, but or maybe they didn't orchestrate it, I don't know. I guess not. I think Blake just finishing his lap up to the line, 32.5 P9 for Blake. Very respectable lap time. And I think he'll be quite happy, as Javonda here is a 10th up coming into the final sector. So can he retake pole position? That was very clean through that chicane. And I'd like to think that this is definitely going to be a provisional pole for the Alpine once again, as up to the line. 31.6, very nice lap there from Javonda. I think he'll be very happy with that himself. As Linus here, 4 tenths up in the Haas. As that is a good start. Just needs to get it right into the line now. As still half a second up, purple middle sector that says. Not a clue honestly with this game. Could be, could not be. And takes that very nicely once again. People getting that very clean as the session progresses. But Linus is going to go to the box. That is very strange. Maybe he thinks he's got a lot more time, but not enough time if he takes that lap. Unsure, to be honest. But that looks really good. Not sure why he's backed off that one, to be honest. As Lapage 33.7. I'm not sure what's happened there for him, unfortunately. It doesn't look ideal. The Swan here, a 10.5 up. This could be challenging. Jabondir, and you can hook up the rest of the lap. That was almost perfect. I say actually it probably was perfect on the angle for keeping out the wall. I'm not sure how fast it was. Maybe up to just correct the steering a bit too much to keep out of the wall. I'm not sure how it was on the previous lap, but it's 3.5 tenths up. That is a lot of time gained. And with just the final chicane to go, and it's good. It's good once again, so this could be an absolute storming lap time, I will say. As up to the line, we're going to see a 31.4 from Twan there. That is very competitive and very fast. Will obviously put him on provisional pole for now, but will someone be able to challenge that is what we will be looking to see, as we are on board currently with Apo in P6. Apo is 3 tenths up here, so looking to get into the 31s. This would put him P4 if he can keep it up in the final sector. And that is really nice from Apo. That is what you like to see. As an approaching the line. What is the lap time going to be? Is it going to be a 31? It's a 31.8 from Apo. Very nice. And that's going to put him up to P4 for now, as George Parr heads to the pit lane. We don't really have anyone on track at the moment, so we might as well look for someone on an 8 lap, which will be Will here. They're in P6 at the moment, but I'm sure they will be looking to make a bit more progress up the grid. I think maybe one of the outline favourites. Not too sure though. Not too sure as using the old acceleration and brake strategy, and that is what you like to see. As here we go then. How is this one going to go? Crossing the line to start the lap, and bit shaky on the throttle there. Opens it up. Bit wide, but manages to keep the minimum speed decent. So I think they'll be satisfied with that so far. As now heading into the lower speed portion of the first sector. Braking late into this corner, bit deep, so that's going to compromise the line slightly there. As on the exit, that looks to be decent there from Quill, and it's a 4 tenths improvement already. I think we know Quill definitely has a bit more time here to find. Not cutting as much as they could have, but it'll do, and it's looking good. Can Quill challenge for pole potentially? I'm not sure how much the improvement's going to be at the middle sector split. It's going to be 3.5 tenths lost time in the middle sector actually, so not as good as the first lap there. It's going to need a very good final sector, and a bit bumpy compared to some of the final sectors we've seen, so I'm not sure what this lap time is going to be for the Williams driver. As up to the line, it's going to be a 31.9, moves up to P5 there for Quill, and not sure what Quill will feel about that lap time as Linus goes P5 ahead of Quill now. Very nice lap time from Linus, as Ennis is just starting a lap and there's a whole heap of cars in the final sector, and it's an absolute train here behind Bayode, I'll say that much. As who else have we got in this train? Pretty much everyone, I will say. As that is Are they all going to make it to the line? I'm not sure, to be honest. Anyways, I think the AlphaTauri's on the lap, and Blake is the one behind. Twan just starting a lap, actually. Might get a bit of a slipstream at the end in the final sector from his teammate, potentially. Whether intentional or not, I don't think he can actually. No. Twan's just looking to get to the line. I don't think he's going to make it, though. Which means he's not going to get a chance to go again for another lap. He misses out on the line, so it will be Blake to set the first of the final laps. It's a 32.3 P9 for Blake. As we see Adam Lapidge here, already 1.4 seconds up, so I think this is going to be a much more representative and competitive lap time from the Mercedes. 32.0 P7 for Lapidge, as Harry McLaw 10th up. It's going to be a 33.0 there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Quill goes to the box, so we'll have a look here at Ennis, 3 tenths up. And this could definitely be enough for pole position here for the Haas driver. Up to the line, 31.3. Ennis is on pole for now. But we still have plenty of drivers left. One of those being Jawanda, has been fast all session. Is he still improving? We don't know. He didn't get the sector time. He absolutely sends it over the curbs, taking full risk. And gets that absolutely beautifully there. And I feel like this could definitely be on for pole position with that sort of line. But actually, it looks slower than his last. And I didn't see that, but that final sector was beautiful. Unfortunately, the lap before mustn't have been great as Paul Matler goes to P7 in the McLaren. Theo Smith has backed off. Who's that? Who's just jumped up? That is Sam, who's gone to P4 in the Ferrari. And I think we just have Rick left, who has aborted his lap. So that is going to be qualifying. Ennis takes the first pole position here in GRS. Twan will be joining him on the front row, followed by Javonda here and Sam, who will round off the second row. A full Swedish second row, actually. As I said to Sam before, a full Swedish first row. It's going to be a full Swedish second row. And then we have Linus and Apo on the third row, Quill and Paul on the fourth, Lapidge and Caleb on the fifth. Roger Wall and Blake on the 6th row, then George Parr and Theo Smith on the 7th row, Bayode and Rick on the 8th row, and Harry will be starting from the back here in F2. Right. So let's see what's going to happen in the race. Get your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to win the first round here in F2, and any other predictions you may have, as I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting race. 1.7 separating the whole grid. So yeah. Hoping for a nice clean race. Interested to see what the strategy will be, as Apo thinks that Linus will win. I think Linus starts P5 on the grid next to you, Apo, so it's quite a ironic prediction, I guess. I reckon Blake will talk. I'm English, so I can just about take something from that and understand it. So yeah, we'll I'm listening to what you're saying. The timer has not started. We don't have a timer in this game. Oh my. Okay, so the 5 red lights are now on. That's caught me absolutely by surprise. And we are underway here in Vegas. And it looks to be a good start from Ennis. A great start from Jawanda as well there in the Alpine. He's going to move up to P2. What carnage are we going to have in turn 1? Hopefully none, as everyone looking to make it through cleanly. There's yellow flags. That is Linus down to the back. And there's a 5-second penalty for Caleb for a severe collision with the Haas driver already. As bringing up the tyre screen here, you can see it's a mixture. You've got Ennis on the softs wanting to get away fast. Most of the drivers on the mediums, Quill also on the softs. And then a few on the hard tyres scattered throughout the grid. And that means they're going to be under pressure heavily early on. But Apo's already got himself up to P4 actually. So talking about pressure, he's clearly not feeling that. And it's a great start from Apo, who does move up into P4 as Chawanda here sticking right close to the back of Ennis. Sam also close. He hits the wall a bit. That's going to throw him off his line a bit. And that's a mistake he wouldn't have been looking to make. As people not making that curve as much now. As well, let's see the majority of the grid. Does anyone have damage? I know Caleb was involved in a collision early on. Does a Alfa Romeo have any damage on the car? Doesn't look like it from the visuals, but it's unfortunate really for Linus, as we could have 3 wide already at the end of the first lap here, as Sam is sizing up a move. Decides to back out of it though. Doesn't want to send the move where he's not going to have all of the space he needs to make it happen, as Apo putting pressure on Twan here, who is dropping away, but that might just be the hard tyres at the beginning of this race causing him a bit of bother. Not sure if he's getting those up to temperature very well, as Rochebelle on the back of Paul Nadler here. We've seen these two fight plenty of times before in F2, as that will be Harry Swanwick more into the pit lane, and presumably with damage. As the front two here looking to get away. Let's get the telemetry on so we can have a look at the battery levels. Ennis already down 40%, Shawanda down 20%. And they're looking to get away aggressively here, as Sam just backing out of that. Quill backs off a bit as well. People not wanting to take any chances there, as Apo looking for any gap here. I feel like Apo feels he's got the pace early on here, and they're all using a lot of battery, whereas Quill underfueled and has saved up on that battery. So that's going to be interesting to see how the fuel will play out for Quill, as there's been a change. Ennis has spun round, and he's going to have to wait there a while. Unfortunately for all the cars to pass through. I don't know if there was contact or if that's just a mistake from the Haas drivers, but that's a very unfortunate start for Haas in this race, and not what you want to see after such a good qualifying. And yeah, I feel bad for them. As Quill here looking for a move on the inside of Apo. Apo just brakes later though, and I say the outside line definitely is the one you want to be on there. The inside curb you don't want to be taking your chances with, as Quill maybe not making as much progress on these soft tyres as we would have thought, as maybe this will give us an answer if there was contact. There's no damage on the Alpine, so the gap has stabilised a bit, as we have side-by-side action here with Quill and Apo. Quill on the softer tyres, and Quill is going to come out ahead. There's yellow flags further back, so something has happened. It looks like George Parr going slowly, same with Rick, so I believe there's been contact between the two of them there, and yeah, that's not ideal, as Rochebelle up to P7. And a good start to this race for the Mercedes team, as Sam up to P2 as well, and has passed Twan. So it is currently a Swedish 1-2 here, which is well, something I'm sure Higo will be loving watching this stream at the moment, as I feel like Quill's going to be trying to get a move on Twan soon, as Rick has got a penalty for corner cutting. And Ennis has been passed by Swanwick Moore, as he's boxed for hard tyres, and that is going to be Quill down the inside here. And he's going to make the move before the DRS, or they are going to make the move before DRS, my apologies. And Sam's also got into the DRS of Shawanda, so that is going to bring him back into this, as Lapage also trying to make a move on Apo. He's going to be able to get that one done for P5 in this race. Lapage, oh, has a moment there. Apo's had to avoid him, and bit sketchy, as Twan maybe with damage to the pit lane here. I'm not sure. As Sam sets the fastest lap of the race. Quill up to P3, Lapage up to P4 then. Apo potentially looking at something, but there's not really an opportunity for him there, as he's right on the back of the Mercedes. And Rochebelle almost out of battery, as Rick has retired in the pit lane. Presumably believing his race is over before it's really started here. in Vegas. That is a massive slight there from Apo, and well, Apo lagging a bit as Rick has left the session, and there's a few drivers. I feel like it's caused some connection problems, that, which is not ideal. Rick is not the host of the session, so strange to see that occur. Some sliding all over the place there. That's going to invite Quill to look for a move down the strip here. Has 20% advantage of the battery, but to be honest, you don't need any battery here. But Quill will use it anyways. Sam doesn't really want to fight that one back. And I think he's just quite happy to sit behind as Quill, making very nice progress early on the soft tyres here, and that is exactly what they will have been wanting when starting on those tyres, as Caleb's gone very deep there. Mistake from the Alfa Romeo, as Rogerwell is going to follow his teammate's progress and get past Apo here, as they're going to be side by side all the way up to turn 1, and Apo's turned in very early there, and well, from what I could see, and it's caused contact in that one. Maybe Rogerwell understeered a bit after as well, as Lapage has nearly binned the car, and that means this is now a fight for P4, as everyone all scampering around down this back straight, as Caleb's going to go on the outside. Very sketchy on the corner to overtake, but Apo lose adequate room and doesn't make any contact, which is what you love to see, as down the inside Apo sends one. I wouldn't advise that. Higo once more, George can. What is he up to? He's in a fight with Bayode at the moment. Just on the edge of the points. So, not really much going on there, to be honest. And I will be focusing on the centre of the action, Higo, as much as possible. Which at the moment looks like this fight, but I can see Quill is closing in. But choosing to back off and stay behind, so we'll go back here as Lapage now down to 9th, and what was so promising has sort of fallen away. Caleb up to P4, Rogerwell now down to P5. Blake also making moves here, and it's looking good for the AlphaTauri driver. Seems to have found a good rhythm, and well, he's moved up past Apo there, as the front three are glued together here, as Quill's in a bit of a Swedish sandwich, as also looks to be definitely running lower wings. Maybe the softs are just starting to drop off a bit now, I would think, compared to the medium tyres. And the crossover probably has most certainly happened, as we're going to have Caleb looking for a move on Rogerwell. Apo's going to sneak one down the inside there on Blake. That's a very cheeky move. Done it cleanly though, and taking advantage of the late break in there, as Bayard has been overtaken by Linus, who's on a charge here in the Haas, and is catching up to George Parr in front. As the front three, 7 seconds clear already. It just shows you how much time you can lose here at Vegas from fighting, and there's yellow flags as George Parr into a wall. I don't think you want me to be on George Cam right now then, Hugo, to be honest, as I think Sam is really looking to get past Quill here. Don't want to stay behind. And I've just completely swapped off that fight. Not completely thinking about anything, am I? But we got Blake here anyways, making a move. And Quill actually stays ahead as his yellow flags again. That is George once again. As Blake close to the back here, Shawanda seems to have made a mistake. And that's a virtual safety car. And that's going to be the Alpine diving straight in with no front wing. Oh! That's one way to bring out a safety car. As Quill has overtaken the safety car. And the safety car's now trying to kill Sam in this process as well. That's happened. That's one way to, yeah. Right, alright, so that's going to bring everyone back into this, though, so, yeah, and, I mean, pretty much everyone's going to the end on hards here. It gets disqualified. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised, I wouldn't have been surprised at all, Jamie. The safety car seems to have just parked it in the most random place possible, to be fair. Like, hold up, let me get on board with someone passing it. Like, what is it? Why is it just parked on the inside? Great choice of placement from the safety car. I'd love to see that. Right. So, we're going to see a lot of people into the pit lane here. Those who started on the hards won't be too happy. Those who started on the mediums and softs will be very happy, quite frankly. So will the pit lane catch anyone else out? I don't think it will. Appos decides to stay out on the hard tyres, which honestly isn't the strangest thing I've seen. What the strangest thing is, that Roger Wells spun in the pit lane and been disqualified. Oh no. Oh no. That is not a mistake that you want to make. I'll say that much. Well. The safety car is got Apo following it. And yeah, pain indeed. This pit lane is clearly an absolute killer for people. I think that's what we found out so far. And yeah, it's not ideal. Anyways, general comments on the race so far. AlphaTauri are in a good spot. Both McLarens in the points as well. And the pit lane is apparently the biggest killer at Vegas. Apparently there's contact. But when Dennis was round, it was contact. The pit lane claims another victim. How many more? How many more is the question. So, I do my general thing of zoning out. This is why I need someone else on the comms, which hopefully is where Cameron will come in future weeks. Because I just do this a lot, where I just completely zone out and forget what's going on, which isn't ideal. But yeah, 9 laps into this race, I think the strategy is just hards to the end there, pretty much. It's the simple thing to do really from this point onwards, and I think it's the thing we'll see most people doing. With Abeod, Theo and Twan are on mediums. Do I want to play some tic-tac-toe? To be honest, I'm more of a Connect 4 kind of guy, you know, Mitch, so... Yeah, Ennis is retired. When did Ennis retire? What? Hey? Did he retire in the pits? What? That must happen while I was zoning out. Like the commentary with you. I mean, we got people for comms. It's just Cameron's just missing this week, so that's completely fine. And I don't mind doing it by myself just when there's not safety cars, because I'm so bad at just keeping my focus in a safety car for some reason. But yeah, I'm rewatching the stream because I want to know if Enish's retired in the pits or not. If anyone saw it on the stream, then yeah, let me know, because I'm lost. Don't go into the pit. Stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out. Oh my god. Okay, no, that's not going in. It's not going in. Apo, that's not going... Where's it go? What? No, it's not going in. Oh, for God. Oh my god, this game is terrible. It's not, don't, please lads, it's not restart. It's not a race. It's not a race. Do not overtake. Don't overtake. Don't overtake. Come on, just... No, just... Okay. Oh, okay, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be chaos. Just... The board's still flashing. Okay. It seems like the message has got across. I think we're good. Just catch the safety car. If everyone catch it, and it should go in next lap. Okay, we're good. Yes, everyone's figured it out. Yes. Fantastic. Apo, just get closer to the safety car, please. So it actually goes in. That's what we need. If it doesn't go in this lap, we'll call a red flag. I just want Apo to actually get behind the safety car. But people have figured it out that it's not gone in good. Okay. Well, red flag if it doesn't go in this lap. But Apo does need to be close to it, otherwise it just won't go in. But yeah. I know Apo's probably watching the stream, so... But yeah. It's not red flagged because everyone's actually figured out what's going on. There's not been any smashes. I can't accelerate. Okay, that's fine. The safety car should go in this lap, Apo. So just take the restart normally. If it doesn't go in, we'll restart. Right. So just take it normally from here, hopefully, and go. Safety car should go in. Safety car's going in. Yes. Here we go. Okay. You see, modern problems require modern solutions. And off goes Apo, and he's managed to catch Quill very well there to get a good restart, and off we go. So safety car in the pit lane, and that is great. Oh my, that is very white from Twan there. Getting on the outside curb, which is not ideal. Sort block Susie, he's going for a move in that gap. Oh, that's Twan in a ball. And that is damage for the AlphaTauri driver. I think that was quite lucky that they managed to organise that just about. As Sam right on the back of Quill, looking for a move, can't get it though, unfortunately. As Apo on the older hard tyres will be under a lot of pressure, I think, at this point. Off this restart, and Quill using 2% of the battery. Nice little tactical bit of usage. And probably is trying to line up a move. And he's going to go down the inside on Apo. Apo runs wide, just keeps out the wall, fortunately. And there's Sam is using the battery and is in the slipstream of Quill here. Blake's also probably going to try and get involved, as this could be very interesting into this next quarter. Apo going through the middle. We're going to have 4 wide. I think, no, Blake decides not to get involved. Quill breaking later. Sam on the outside. Quill on the inside. Apo in the middle of it all. Caleb White has snuck through. I didn't see that one coming. And that means Sam's now going to lead this race. Quill using a lot of the battery to put the pressure on Apo, as Theo Smith also has gotten past Blake. Blake was pretty compromised, unfortunately, on the line he was on. As Apo's going to defend the inside. Quill's going to try driving around the outside. There's contact there as that's going to be Blake off into a wall. Caleb spinning ground as well, and it's not like Blake to do something like that, so I'm unsure what's happened there, to be honest. It just looks like he got completely smashed from behind. Bayode looking to the inside of Paul Natler, can't get that move. Bayode has made a lot of progress on these mediums after that restart and is looking very comfortable in this race at the moment. Sam is trying to get the breakaway here in the Ferrari. And, well, I think everyone's going to be trying their best to get past Apo. Paul Natler itching to get past, I'm sure, at the moment. Oh, that's a bit of a wall tap there from Bayode. That's not what he would have wanted to do in that corner. But it's fine. He's still facing the correct way, and that's the most important thing. As that is going to be Paul Natler past Apo. He's going to try and fight it back in the slipstream. And, well, Sam's going to keep the lead up ahead on Quill. Apo trying to sneak it down the inside. But, yeah, he's not going to be able to do that. And then Bayode looking to get involved. Theo Smith as well. Theo Smith's going to put the battery on. Maybe trying to put a bit of pressure on Bayode there. As Bayode is now going to go down the inside on Apo. And he's close to Paul Natler. Paul's going to defend. Bayode doesn't choose to go down the inside as Theo Smith trying to cut it back on all of them. I don't think they know they're free wide, but Apo's run wide. He looks like he's going to lose all of the positions here, and that is, well, that is what's going to be the case. As Bayode now in a DRS of Paul Natler, and he's going with the battery on down the inside of the McLaren driver. As Theo Smith looking to size this one up. Bayode side by side with Paul here, and now it's going to be a look for Theo Smith down the inside, and not quite able to gain that one. Apo's made contact there, I think. Maybe being a bit too trigger happy in that scenario. As Linus now making the move on Apo. And I don't think Apo's going to want to fight that one too much, to be honest. A bit of an awkward corner to really fight another car in. Apo goes deep and has to swerve it out of a wall. Lapage keeping all the way over to the right, to the left there even, and yeah, avoids contact. And Bayode now up into the podium places. But again, McLarens have made really good progress after this safety car restart. Lapage, okay, that was a bit criminal on the braking, as Twan's got a penalty for corner cutting. Currently at the back with his teammate, and Lapage is now looking for a move. George Parr also trying to sneak a move in, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Maybe looking on the inside a bit, but I don't think he's going to get that one done, as Lapage having a bit of a moment. And he's going to come out on top here, and it's going to be Apo without the DRS. I think George is just looking to follow Lapage through here, and there you go. He's managed to do that up to P8, and that is what he'll have wanted to have done, as Bayode seems to be struggling here a bit. He's under immense pressure from the two McLarens. And also Linus in the Haas, as not Linus, Theo Smith just backing out there, and Paul Natler's made a mistake. That's going to compromise his teammate as well, and now Linus could go for a double overtake here, but they're making the track as wide as possible, or making their cars as wide as possible on the track is what I meant to say, and they've all got DRS, and they're all flying down the strip here, and Linus just trying to wriggle his way into any sort of space to get through, but decides to just back out. And I think he'll go for it another time as Caleb. That was very sketchy. Almost ended up hitting into the back of George there. As I think Apo sort of just staying out for a safety car now, I guess. Probably box the soft slate on and just see what he can do. Would be my guess, as AlphaTauri swapping places at the back, and Caleb White swapping places up to 7th place in this race. As at the front, Quill 90% battery, Sam 70, so they've both done a very good job of saving their battery up here. I think that'll just be tactical from them. They'll both be wanting to have as much battery as possible, and that's a VSC. Okay, very interesting. What's that for? Who's at wall? Anyone? I don't see damage on anyone's car. It's fine, you're fine, you're fine. Oh! Yeah, okay, there's a VSC because Linus has got no front wing. That would be, yeah, why? That would explain that very, very nicely indeed. Yeah. Can confirm, Ennis did go into the pits to retire, which is what I was wondering. As VSC is probably ending, based on the speed people are going. Will anyone get a drive through? Unsure, to be honest. So that's going to be Linus into the pit lane for a new front wing. I thought Apo might have chose the box under VSC, as it's still going. Everyone's going to be up to battery, up to full battery again. DRS enabled. We are underway again here after that short VSC, and we've also got Theo Smith. Doesn't want to send it on Bayot. Bayot goes defensive. I think Bayot was expecting the move from the McLaren driver. Bayot's just doing his best to defend the position at the moment, and he's certainly doing a good job holding off the two McLarens to try and get on the podium here. As Caleb's also trying to make some progress to catch up. Lapage back ahead of Apo there. Who's winning constructors in this? I don't know, to be honest. Ferrari look good, and McLaren from this race so far. I think Williams might have if they had a second driver. Here goes Quill past Sam, and that's going to be the move to try go for the lead. Sam's going to keep it in there, and they're still going to be side by side. Sam stays ahead. Resilience from the Ferrari driver, doesn't want to concede his position, wants to fight for this win. And well, what a way that would be to win your first race after getting promoted from F3 to F2. The only driver to do so. Can Sam win this one? As Theo Smith has got past and got past Bayard, broke the DRS immediately. And Theo Smith looks to be on a charge here. Sam's gonna... Oh, just has to settle in behind there. That's going to be Quill up into the lead of this race, and apparently the stream's got no data and will end shortly. Well, that's just not the case. Internet might be dying. Not gonna lie. Sam's sticking right to the back of Quill here. So I think this is going to be it then. The battle to the end is Theo Smith got the gap down to 4.2 to the leaders already. Paul Nadler here using the battery, using the DRS, seeks it to the right side of Bayode, and that's going to be P4, and last season's title winner up into P4, and I mean Paul will be quite happy with that. Turn pretty much all the assists off, and yeah, very, very strong showing here from the McLaren team is what I meant to say. Um, as George Park used a lot of the battery, but Caleb's used even more. Lapage has the most and looks in the prime position here in this fight. As George just seems to have settled really well into this race now, and has built up the pace. They're catching up to Bayode in front as well, so this could definitely escalate soon. George looks for a move, backs out of it, doesn't want to make any unnecessary risks, and just keeping it clean, and that's what you need to do in these races. Keep it clean and you'll have a good race. As Sam leading the race again at the front. Quill on 95% battery, Sam on 70. So Quill's going to have definitely a very strong advantage here, and is using just a nice amount of that battery. I think Quill will know they are comfortably in the lead on that game. Sam's deploying a lot. I don't think it's necessary, honestly, Sam. I think you're just better to sit behind in the DRS, regenerate, push that, push the limits later on in this race, as George Paul will be making a move for P6 in this race, and he's now going to be leading the charge after Bayode for a top 5 finish here. And Caleb and Lapage will be coming with him here, as the gap at the front, they've started to break away from Theo Smith. I think that's just the hard tyres being more and more in their element. As it's going to be a move for Caleb in front of George there, and that was a quick swap around again, as Apo sets the fastest lap of the race so far. And well, I guess we're going to just see what happens as we approach the closing stages of this race. 5 laps to go, roughly. George having to cut the corner there, had a massive moment, and that's most likely going to be a track limit warning for him, as Quill has started to deploy some of that battery, and I think they are really looking to try and get away from Sam, but I don't think Sam's going to allow that to happen. And I think Sam's strategy might actually be to just try and get in front, to be honest. I think being in front is the best thing for Sam, potentially, although Quill can just sit and wait. Quill has the resources advantage here over Sam, so Sam would need to break or hope for a mistake from Quill, and Quill making a mistake is about as likely as you guessing right now in the chat what number I'm thinking of from 1 to 1,000. So yeah, 1 in 1,000 odds. Midshot's not the correct number. That's also not the correct number. You're wrong. And yeah, I just don't think your odds are very high of guessing it, to be honest. As on lap 20 here, that's also wrong. It was not 432. But yeah, I think we have certainly an outlying top 2 at the moment. As the pressure will be rising the further we get into this race. And it's a safety car. What has happened? We need to know. Someone's gone in a wall. Someone has gone in a wall. Who's gone in a wall? Who is it? I feel like it's Caleb based on what I've just seen. It's not Caleb. It's not George. It's Lapage! Bringing the excitement to the end of the race. No, it's not 12, Mitch. You're guessing very low considering you've got 1,000 options. You never know, I could have picked a very low number just to be obvious but obscure. Anyways, into the pit lane. Everyone will go. It's going to be softs to the end. And this is... Oh, Bayode, hello. Bayo's trying it. Bayo's trying the what the, oh my. Maybe just gone for a bit of a move into the pit lane. One lap of DRS at the end, I reckon. I mean, that's yeah, probably a very valid shout. I think this is going to be carnage, I'll be honest. I think everyone's going to want a piece of this. Stewards may have a busy evening. I may have a busy evening because I'm the steward. This isn't exactly what I wanted, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic for the viewing experience. So yeah. Hopefully you're all ready for this. Lap 21, we got 21 viewers on the stream. We got 12 drivers on softs, which is 21 flip backwards. Mitch has number 12, which is also 21 flip backwards. Yeah. And you know what? Blake Ward is in 12th. And considering all these things with a number 12, I think he's going to win the race. He's not probably going to win the race because I've said that, but you might as well have an ambitious guess at it. Why not? Who do you think's going to win this race now? Then let me know in the chat. Who's it going to be? As I'm severely concerned for where the drivers may catch a safety car. If you're on the stream and your name's Blake Ward, could you please slow down and not catch a safety car? Because, yeah, I don't want it to go in like at a stupid point again. But it's very slow in this chicane, as we know. Right, it's not going in. Good. That's what we like to see. The safety car's not randomly being stupid. Alright. I think Caleb will show up and take it from P5. Completely fair shake, to be honest. I think almost anyone's a fair shake in this at this point. I think I'm going to say this. I think Bayode has gone for the strategy of everyone will be that keen on the softs that they'll all smash into each other, and his hope is probably to get away because everyone's going to be trying to defend absolutely everything. The safety car will be in this lap, which means we're going to have a 3-lap shootout here in Vegas for the first round of the F2 season. And well, big points up for offer. Everyone will know that, as Bayode is very close to the safety car. Right. Here we go then. Bayode is going to get mobbed. Can he survive? I think Bayode's going to be a massive factor in this. He's going to be the gap creator. It's a weird name. Oh wait, no, the safety car hasn't said it's safety car. Go. Say it's going in. Go in. Say, what's it doing? Yes. Okay, it said at a reasonable point that it's going in. Fantastic. Is it going to go into the pit lane? Go left. Yes, it's gone into the pit lane. Fantastic. So, Bayode to restart us for one last time in this race. Who's going to come out on top? We'll find out shortly as let's go on board with Sam. Let's see what the reaction is. Actually, we'll go on board with Cole to see what the front two's reaction is. Bayode's going to leave it right to the line. He's gone now, and off we go to finish this race. Sam's already got the battery on, and here we go. That's going to be a send from Theo Smith to the outside of Quill there. Can he hang that one in? Sam's already up to first place, and Sam's off. Sam is off, and this is what's important here. Quill's going to be looking for the move on Bayode, and he's going to squeeze him right up to the wall. And can Bayode defend? No, Quill's just got the later break in. Goes a bit deep. That's going to allow Theo Smith to sneak through as well. I think we might see a Caleb White down the inside here into this corner. And that is not going to be the case. I would have sent that, to be honest, at this stage of the race. But it is going to be on the exit, where Caleb's going to sneak it around the outside. Sam's got a 1.6 second lead. That is exactly what Sam would have been looking for. He's going to be on the battery. He's going to be like, get me out of there. He doesn't want anything to do with anyone. As here comes George Parr down the inside of Bayode. And yeah, that's going to be the move for George up into P5. Yellow flags. That's Paul Nadler into the wall. And that is not ideal for Paul. I will tell you that much. As Harry Solmick-Moore up to P8 in this race, gets past Apo here. And here comes Linus as well. He's got an absolute monstrous amount of straight line speed in that Haas, as they're going to be nearly 3 wide, nearly 4 wide into the corner. Who's going to come out on top? Apo cuts the inside, gets a 3-second time penalty there. Side by side on the exit, leaving each other adequate room for racing. And Apo seems to have the better drive as they come across the line to start lap 24. 3 wide into turn 1 is what it's going to be. In the middle there is Linus. That's not where you want to be in this situation. Has to drift it a bit, but they've kept it clean. And that's what matters, is Harry down the inside of Apo, but can't quite get that. Twan retires in the pit lane. And unfortunately he got involved in an incident, as a bit of lag there from Linus, which isn't ideal. As the gap at the front, 1.5 seconds. What can Sam do here? Will Sam hold on? Quill has 50% battery. Sam has the same amount. Sam's done very well at conserving enough here to match Quill's deployment, as Theo Smith just can't keep in the DRS. That's a mistake from Harry Solmick-Moore, it seems. He's down to the back, and that is unfortunate for him. Caleb looking for a podium here, and he's hunting on the back of Theo Smith here. He's got loads of the battery, and he's going to be using that to move up into the podium places in this race. And that is going to probably be where he'll finish, unless something significant happens. Quill down to 22%. Sam's still on 40. Quill cuts the whole corner there. Sam looks to have made a mistake, actually. Can Quill get in the DRS? Sam's deploying everything. Doesn't want to even give Quill a single opportunity with the DRS, but Quill could be very close. And onto the last strip. From 1 second back, I would say there is definitely a chance that Quill could have an opportunity if they manage to get into the DRS here, but they're not going to. They're going to be 1/10 outside of it, and they're deploying every bit of battery that they have in the tank just to try and get close. But Sam has managed it well. He managed to get past very early, and he's done absolutely an exceptional job here. And that gap's 1.4 now. He's got just a few more corners to go. There's not many corners on this track after you get out of the first sector. So he'll just need to make sure for no mistakes, keep it clean. And that will be the race win for Sam. As on the final lap of the race here, Quill using every bit of battery, even though they basically have nothing left in the tank. As we're also going to see Theo Smith looking for a move on Caleb White as further back Bayo to drop down to 9th place. Still going to score points in this race, to be fair to him. And, well, he went for the risk. Didn't pay off, but there's obviously the chance that it certainly could have. And I think that chance enticed him quite a lot. As here we go, Theo Smith using every last bit of battery. Going to get past Caleb White. Caleb goes for the late break-in. Left enough room. Goes deep into the corner. That's contact. And, well, Sam's managed to keep it clean out the final corner. Caleb White goes back ahead, but it's going to be Sam to win the first race here as Bayo picks up a 3-second time penalty. Quill across the line in second, Caleb third, Theo Smith 4th, Adam Lapidge in 5th, George Parr 6th, Apo with a penalty will drop down behind Blake, who will take 7th, Apo will finish 8th. Bayode will take 9th, and the final points paying position will go to Linus in the Haas. Wow. Is that what you were expecting? What is that noise I've just heard? I don't even know. And yeah, we'll be doing. We'll bring back the top 3 interviews. Sam takes the top step here to win in Las Vegas. Fastest lap does go to Quill in the end. Caleb White rounds off the podium. Then you've got Via Smith and Adam Lapidge in the top 5. And, well, Ferrari scoring very well here. George Part in 6th. Blake Ward 7th. Apo in 8th. Bayode 9th. Then it's rounding out the points. Then the drivers not scoring points who did finish the race, being Paul Nadler and Harry Swanwick Moore. Twan is classified after completing over 90% of the race. Ennis, Gironda, Rick and Rogerwell being the drivers to retire. So, let's get some interviews going then. Oh, race director. I almost forgot that. There you go. Right. Let's get over to the interview screen. Gosh. Yep. Right. Let's get them all moved in here. Let's go move to right. Hopefully the permissions are correct and everyone can speak. I'm unsure. But hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So we'll start off with you then, Quill. So P2 in the end, you had a good fight with Sam all throughout the race there.
Luke, you understand DFS trains on that game. It was just a game of chicken.
Yeah. Essentially, as I saw at the start, you were obviously choosing to stay behind for quite a lot of the time. And then eventually you started swapping positions. I mean, you had a very large gap behind, and then, well, the old safety car brought it out, or someone brought out the safety car. I think it was Lapidge, if I remember correctly. Smashed his whole front wing off, which isn't ideal. But yeah, that made it so it was sort of just a sprint to the end. Bayot stayed out. Sam, you managed to get straight past, not wasting any time. And
What a jerk.
well, that
Why did you have to literally go all the way across the track when my tyres are like 4 seconds a lap quicker?
and
I was always going to send it into that corner. You might as well minimise the time loss for both of us, because I think Bayo then got shuffled behind Susie
yeah,
as a result.
yeah, Theo managed to get down the inside straight away as well. But yeah, I think
mean,
after qualifying, I think you would have taken P2 in that race, Quill.
no, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I think I could definitely stick in a DRS train very easily. And before the safety car, I felt like I had it, because I could tell that Sam was using battery and I was on basically 100, or I could charge it up to 100 in half a lap if I wanted to. It was just sitting behind Sam on the final lap, being half a second behind, or even 9/10 behind, and then I would have still gotten past, and I feel like my wings were slightly lower as well.
I'm not sure, to be honest, on the setup. It looked fairly similar, but I think that's just the power of Slipstream and DRS down the strip, making it look like one person has extremely lower wings compared to the other each lap. So, not sure, but well, you managed to get on the podium at the end of the day. Obviously, you would have wanted the race win, but it's a lot of points to start the season, fastest lap as well. So, 19 points to add to the tally. So yeah, we'll move over to Caleb next. P3 after a very long race of fighting, I will say. Everywhere you went, you were involved in battles, but managing to get onto the podium, which I'm sure you'll be very happy with in the end.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my first lap wasn't ideal. A 5 second penalty for a severe collision. Right. Yeah. But I served that pen, so does that mean I'm going to get another one, or is that good?
If you got one from the game and I deem it to be 5 seconds, then that's completely fine.
All right. And then I got hit by both the Alpha Tauris around the midway point and dropped out from like third to last. But that last safety car helped. I think I jumped from seventh to fifth. And I got past the Red Bull quickly. I'm quite happy with third.
Yeah, I mean, a podium from a race that wasn't looking too promising. I think anyone will take that at the end of the day. I saw an interesting bit of contact in the final. I guess you could say final corner, sort of, with the McLaren. Is there
Yeah.
anything you thought on that, or?
Well, no, because he got past me and then he let me through.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought I was going to let him back through. And then he was in front of me and he stopped and let me through. And I was like, all right.
Well,
I think I was on the track. He was mostly on the track. It was on the edge, but it was last lap. I was at 0% ERS and he had DRS. I drained everything.
yeah, you were both on zero there, and it was essentially just a drag race. But obviously with the DRS, you
Yeah.
had the advantage. But yeah, podium,
Yeah.
and good to see you back, and hopefully a good season for you.
Yeah.
Just like season 3, that'd be nice. We'll
Yeah.
see what you
Something
can
going
do.
for again. Good start.
Yeah, very good start to that.
A perfect
So,
season for me. All the street circuits in France. But yeah. Oh, thanks.
yeah. All right. So moving on to our race winner then. You came up from F3, first race in F2, and you've only gone and won it. So I'm sure you're very happy, Sam.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm very happy, I could say it's my first race win. I mean, on track, because last season I won in Hungary, but that was due to penalties. But yeah, I'm just very happy. Like, I honestly thought I would win it, like, around the few couple last corners, because I was starting to have oversteer. But yeah, no, yeah, I also had a pretty bad start. I dropped down to P5. Apple went ahead, and then I just worked my way back up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after there was an incident at the front, I believe, and then the drivers at the front just seemed a bit more mistake prone initially, and well, that left you and Quill at the front. What was your strategy in that fight? You seem to obviously a lot of the time want to be ahead. Was that sort of you being worried of Quill managing to break out a DRS, or did you just feel more comfortable being in front?
It's sort of a mix of both. I mean, when Quill is behind, I had a feeling that he was harvesting because like during the DRS zones, he would be a couple tenths back, and then he'd make it all back up and then sit behind me. So I was like, okay, well, I need to sort of get past him when he gets past me during the DRS zones, and then make a advantage out of that.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, the safety car definitely gave you the breathing room, and I think I think you were just happy to probably get straight past Bay out there at the end, weren't you?
Uh, yeah, I have my POV of it, but basically he just went wide, and I just took advantage of that, ducked into the inside, and I was past him.
Yeah. So yeah, very good performance. I mean, I think your worries of not being competitive may have been, you know, alleviated, and yeah, hopefully we can see you on the podium again this season. And well, being the only driver to come up from F3, you've done the former F3 drivers very proud, I'm sure. So
So
yeah, sorry, go on. Are you gonna say anything or hello?
I mean, what? I
I
can't
don't,
hear you.
I don't, I thought you were gonna speak, and then yeah, sorry, my bad.
Oh, no, no, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I haven't really got anything else to say now, so yeah. Thank you all for watching. Next week we just shuffle along um 2 states across to Texas, and yeah, we'll see you there. I'm sure we're gonna have another interesting race. I'm sure I'm gonna be pretty busy with stewarding after this one, based on what I've seen lower day. But yeah, um, we'll be back tomorrow with F1 at the same time at 7, and then yeah, every week, F3 on Sundays, F4 Mondays, F2 Tuesdays, and F1 on Wednesdays. So if you'd like to tune in, get it marked in on your calendars, and well, I hope to see you there. Thank you all for watching anyways, and goodbye.